Hello and welcome to the second video of the Water Dragon Journeys. It's a shorter video today, I promise, in which we are looking at our intuition, working with the dragons in our dreams and also with our seership, our whatever ways we like to tune in to our own deep knowing. And also there's going to be a meditation at the end of this to meet our water dragon guide, which I am looking forward to. So, how are we all doing? I hope that you enjoyed yesterday's water dragon work, and I know from some of you were saying on the page that you felt that energy brewing up, and maybe you've been visiting places or researching places or finding places near you that connect to water. And I am so nosy, and I would love to see these places if you feel drawn to share them. Wherever you are in the world, I think it's really exciting to share places that are, that our friends, our comrades, our group finds sacred and magical. So please do share, and I'll do the same. And so today, the water dragons reminded me, because we're going to be looking at, obviously, at dream work, the water dragons reminded me that we not only connect with water on this planet, but also the moon is hugely connected to water. The fact that the tides are drawn by the moon, and we are heading towards the full moon. So the new moon is growing, and I think by the end of this week it will be full. So I was checking my mind. I think it is. Bad witch. Let's just say it is. And so we're kind of feeling that energy, not only of the water around us, but those tides, those powers that affect the water. And so the moon and the dragons of the moon wanted to come through as well. I told you there's going to be a lot this time. There's a lot of sort of subtleties coming through with the dragons of water. And it's just something to explore. You don't have to do it all today. The ideas are to put these visions, these thoughts out to you guys for you to explore what feels right and when. So as we are going to, just a reminder of yesterday's work that we still might be thinking about, hopefully, to find or to visit or to explore and wander and discover sacred places connected to water in our environment, in our land. It doesn't have to be today, it could be over the next week, over the next few weeks. If that's possible for you, or to honour the water in and around your home. I will show a little video of the water up in the village and the flows that I was talking about. But there's somewhere else I want to go and share with you guys as well. So all kinds of water, whether you are an ocean witch, whether you love waterfalls, whether you love streams and springs, find that or lakes of stillness and reflection. When I was living in Glastonbury for such a long time, the water there was very still because we're on the Somerset levels, which is where all the water, the lake villages would have been back in the day, and a lot of the water was drained. So it was very still. And I found that really uncomfortable for quite a while, actually. I'm definitely a child of wild waves and waterfalls and moving, crashing water. But it was my lesson to be in that stillness and reflection for a few years. So finding what water sings to you and what water doesn't as well, and not to avoid the water that doesn't sing to you, because there is something, like I learned from that stillness, which is really important, but also the importance of recharging in those places which brings your heart joy. It makes me think of Tintagel in Cornwall here in the UK. If anyone gets a chance to go there, please do. The rocks, I'll try and share some photos, going into the sea look like a big dragon's head. It is such an energy point and very connected with King Arthur and also with dragons. So that's what places like that, the energies like that are definitely my the wild water, crashing waves places are what I love, as well as waterfalls. But what do you love? What is your favourite kind of body of water? What brings your soul joy? So it's finding the places near you. So just to reveal my little dragon who was hiding in there. It's a shy moon dragon hiding. Finding the places that sing to your soul, finding the places near you that you can get to know. Like I said yesterday, lots of springs are sort of abandoned or neglected, or just some of them are carefully taken care of, but they've been given saint names, which may be linking to the past, but likely isn't. So it's always worth having a bit of a research. Okay, so I won't try and keep you too long today, but dream work. And I was also being drawn to, when we're thinking about dream work with dragons, is essences and things we can do to kind of facilitate magical dreaming. And we were talking yesterday about water, collecting water, spring water, rainwater, ocean water, river water, and working with it magically. And this can also be used for dream work as well. So as you approach the full moon, we collect this storm water, this lake water, whatever's for you, and maybe you could even add things like crystals to it. So you could make a little bit of an essence, or you could save the main part of the water and put it into an essence, and you could focus that on dream work. So you could make a little bottle with an amethyst crystal is good for dream work, or a quartz crystal, or a moonstone. It's also cautious not to use stones that are dilutable, unless you wanted to dilute, like selenite, which unfortunately, as we know, hits the water and starts to crack. I learned that the hard way many years ago, blessing my selenite wand in a river. Yeah, it wasn't the blessing I was hoping for, to be fair, but I learnt my lesson. So just finding that the ones that are safe to put in the water, and you also use this as an anointing essence before you go to sleep. So you could put oil in it, you could put some lavender, some calming or some dream affirming scents in there, and then you've got your own special dream bundle in a bottle. And then you want to put some herbs in there. Do whatever works for you. I just say don't drink it unless you know it's all safe. But yeah, making a safe space to create something magical for your dreams. Having that bottle by the bed with a crystal in it, or having a little pouch of the things you've put in the water, like the crystal could go in a little pouch afterwards. All these things you can use to facilitate really wonderful dreaming. So that's a really nice idea. And we have plenty of rainwater this year, apparently. So collecting water, blessing it under the full moon, or collecting full moon water, putting a crystal in it, charging it with the energy of, this is your dragon dreaming potion. You can put some on your head or your eyes before you sleep, or have it by your bed. Just an idea that came through with the dragons as well, of like how you can make and create lovely essences. Like, I'm not the kitchen witch. I wish I was more of an apothecary kind of girl. Maybe one day, but I'm too fire at this point in life. But when I do stop to make little things, it's really, I love doing it. So you may be so much more into sort of kitchen witchery and potions and lotions, and you'll be like, yeah, I've got a dream potion, I know how to make one. Do it and show us and share your recipes if you have them. But I am just the basic with this, that we can just make some gentle water, spring water, crystals, maybe a little bit of oil if it works, and have that as dedicated dragon dream water. Charge it under the full moon or the new moon or whatever floats your boat. Okay, so dreaming. We've got maybe our crystal, we've got our dragon dream water. Have we got our dream journals, which can be just a piece of paper? The important thing is it gets written in. It doesn't have to be a posh notebook, though sometimes it's nice to have a special thing for a special. It gives honouring to your dreams that you're kind of creating a special space for them. But if you'd rather just rapidly write them down because you know that you have terrible handwriting at 5 a.m. or whatever, and then to kind of put them somewhere else later, that's also good. What I would suggest is, if we all have different levels of being comfortable with dreaming and feeling that we remember them, or go through different phases of our lives. Maybe you never remember your dreams. People say that sometimes. Doesn't mean you don't dream. And kind of creating a ritual of dream memory is really good. So getting into practice, having those ritual things like the dragon dream water, like having a crystal, like setting an intention that you want to remember your dreams, then that is just saying that before you go to bed, just having a little ritual where you're telling your brain, I would like to remember my dreams. Also, maybe you want to ask a question of the dragons in the dreams. So say before we go to bed, dragons, help guide me in this direction. Now, the thing is, sometimes you might have a dream which is like, oh my God, that was so epic. Like, that was obviously the dragons telling me the reason for this and why I felt like that, etc. Usually Usually it's more really bizarre imagery, but that imagery can have great effect. We just need to write it down and take some time to reflect upon it. So maybe don't expect the most wonderful, magical dream ever to come through. I hope it does, but it might not. But what we can do is be open to whatever comes through will have a message for us. It might take a minute or two in the morning to write it down, to reflect on the meanings. And it might actually take a few days, maybe a week or so, before these dreams start coming through at all. It's a process, and we don't, our ancestors would really, really rely upon the dreamers to give guidance for the clan, for the village, for the tribe. So it is important, the dreams you have, we may feel they're just silly, but actually listening to them can tell us so much about what's going on with our body, with our soul, with our heart, with our minds. We process so much in a day, so much unbelievable information and emotions. And our dreams are trying to unravel them, but also sometimes they unveil pearls, they unveil wisdom and healing and prophecy and guides. So it's a really good sort of habit to cultivate, to honour those visions we're getting in our night time and to write them down. So also you could, give yourself those little evening rituals of a bath, if you have a bath, or sort of a relaxing, a wind down. So as much as we all take our phones to bed with us, maybe not taking your phone to bed, maybe putting it on airplane mode, putting it out the room, creating a relaxing space for you to just wind down and be open to these healing dreams could be good. Just give it a go if you can. And find the patterns, find the flow, find the answers. Ask questions of your dragons. Maybe in meditations you can ask them for them to come in your dreams, to tell you those answers, to give you guidance. So yeah, just worth experimenting with, and it can cultivate such a deep body of wisdom the more we follow through with our dreams. And of course, intuition is something that is much, with the moon energy that came through today in the cards. I'm going to show you, here we go, I think, where did I put it on the floor? Probably, know me, there we go, yeah. The card that came through to us was this. How beautiful is she? You'd be glad to know it's not the nutrition card. For once in our lives, we've still got time. We've still got time this week to get the nutrition card, so fear not. The wisdom of the water dragon, the moon dragon, is coming through. And that's something I did want to mention today anyway. So, this is tuning into that deep knowing within. As we head towards this full moon, connecting with the dragons, listening, being silent, finding quiet reflection time. Not only does water stir up the deep emotions, but we can actually have that stillness and that reflection, or to pay attention to the tides of our lives. So, yeah, which ways do you find intuition comes through to you? Is it through a feeling in your tummy, in your bones? Is it through visions? Is it through ideas? Is it a song that comes through, or a smell, a scent? How do you trust those messages that come through? Maybe I don't know. It's not a problem if you don't know. It's just good to think about that, to have a moment and go, okay. And then as the week goes on, think about or feel into when something comes up for you, and you can go, oh, where did I feel that in my body? Did I just see something where I knew it was, not right or exciting? I got a feeling. Did it bubble up inside of me? Did it feel like a block? Just really tune into it. Maybe you heard a voice, heard a word, saw something that was like, no. It's just really tuning into your intuition and how your body and soul reacts to information, and allowing the dragons to help you deepen that wisdom, which we will do when we connect with our own dragon guide in just a second. So the wisdom card came through. I can share that in the page as well. Trust your own wisdom, trust your own knowing. You don't have to have authority telling you that your ideas, your intuition is correct. Trusting you, trusting your wisdom, trusting the dragons is power, and it's not always loud. It can be very quiet and very like the moon, just this kind of, just very powerful, this deep, powerful knowing. So yeah, there's a real invitation to dive into, you know, your intuition can come through your dreams. The more we listen to our dreams, the more in tune with what we deeply know, the more the patterns come through. And when we ask maybe the dragons to help us with this, there is power within. So get nice and comfy. We are now going to do a meditation to connect with our dragon guides, our water dragon guides. So as always, make sure you're going to be relaxed in a space where you can just chill and not have to do anything if possible, and allow the dragons to come through. Okay, see you in a second. Let's get connected. In this meditation, we are going to connect with our own dragon guides from the realm of water. We are going to visit the water temple of the dragons. And from that space, the water dragon of a specific, possibly a specific, water source will come through to you. You may feel it on the ocean, from the lakes, from the waterfalls, the rivers, the rain, the moon. Yeah, it doesn't have to be specific, but I feel like there may be a sense of a specific water dragon that will come through to you. And I want you to allow this journey to also open your intuition, to open your relaxed inner knowing. And we're going to start with our roots, those familiar roots that we have going from our feet or from the base of our spine, sinking into the earth. And as your roots sink into the earth, they sink and reach like water sinking into dry soil, and they nourish and they flow through the soil deep, deep into the earth. And we're setting our intention that we are journeying to the temple of the water dragons. And you visualize your room, your space around you, as if your eyes were open. And from that space, you see that familiar white or silver mist, droplets of water and air flowing around you. And when that mist starts to clear, before you see anything, you hear the sound of gentle tide upon the stones and the sand, upon the shingle, upon the shore. You hear the sounds of the tide flowing in and flowing out. When the mist fully clears, you find yourself under deep azure skies. skies are darkening deeper and deeper into blue and indigo, into night. And the silver moon shines, a beautiful orb of light above the tide. And that light shimmers over the waters, dancing and playing with the ocean. And as you explore this beach, perhaps you make an offering to the ocean. You may find you have a gift in your pocket, your pouch, or your offering could be of words, of promise, of song. And as you explore further, you see that there is a waterfall tumbling down the cliff tops behind you. There is more than one waterfall the more you see. This beautiful tumbling flow of water from the streams above, down the cliff face and meeting the ocean. And by the waterfall is a great and vast cave. And there are torches lit at the gateway to this cave. And in your heart you know that you are entering a space sacred to the dragons of water. And you walk between the waterfalls to the cave mouth, and the water from the waterfall dances around you. And as you approach the cave mouth, you see that the cave is lined with crystals, and there are carvings, silver and white carvings shining in the full moon, carved into the deep, dark rocks of night. And you wander further into the cave. Perhaps you touch the crystals as you pass, and you feel the water running down the walls of this cave. Although the cave is dark, it is lit by the silver moonlight and lit by lanterns that seem to be made of moonlight. Further you go into the cave. And you hear the sounds of running water in the distance. And your road, your path, suddenly meets a doorway made of water. Perhaps it is a mini waterfall, perhaps it is a pool, perhaps it is a wave held in the air. By walking through this doorway, you are entering the inner heart of the water dragon's temple. And when you are ready, you walk through through the water. Perhaps it soaks you, perhaps you remain mysteriously dry as you walk through and enter a beautiful palace. It's made of crystals, of waterfalls. It's made of moon and starlight and reflections. You take a time, you take a moment to wonder at the beauty of this space. You take some time exploring this space. The gentle sound of water is all around you, as if you were listening through a shell at the ocean. And there is a window in this temple that looks out over oceans, over watercourses and rivers, over waterfalls. And even though you are deep in the earth, the window looks out at the full moon shining on this water. And in front of the window, you see the shape, the outline of a great dragon. And they turn to you. They are here to be your water dragon guide. They are here to connect with you and the spirits of water and give you guidance on your journey. The water dragons are the most deep and compassionate of souls. And as you look into their eyes, you see rivers and oceans of emotion that dance and flicker across their face. But the dominant emotion now is of warmth, is of welcoming you as an old friend, as a new friend, into their realm. And in this time together now, you explore this place with the water dragon. You get to know them and connect with them in the ways that feel right for you and this water dragon. This is your time together to explore and to share as you will. meeting is only a beginning, a connection or a reconnection with a great water spirit, a dragon of depth and primal power. And perhaps there is something you would like to ask them, or a way in which you would like to work with them. Now is the time, or to ask how they would like to work with you. And now the water dragon begins to guide you out of this labyrinth of water and crystals, of starlight and moonlight and reflections. And they lead you towards the watery gateway which you entered. And you share more moments together and know you'll see them again. And as you step through the watery gateway and back into the cave lined with crystals and carvings, you see a carving on the wall that is remarkably like your dragon. And you hold the gratitude and the energy that you shared together in your heart, in your thoughts, as you walk up the cave lit by moonlit lamps with crystals and light. Up, 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 until you hear the sound of the ocean once more and the waterfalls by the cave. And you step out into the night air, and the moon has rose higher into the sky now, looking further away. And as you walk towards the ocean, the sounds of water all around you, and the night dancing on the moon's tides, you see that familiar mist flow from the sea, flow from the sky, gathering you up and bringing you home, until the beach and the sea are not in your vision, just the mist. And when that mist begins to clear, you find yourself back in your home, back in your space, ready to journal down your discoveries, your connection with the dragon. And don't worry if nothing much happened this time. Come back to this journey and know that through even going on this journey, you have made that connection with the dragons, and they will know that you are open and ready for this adventure together. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all very soon. Take care.